Inside Nigeria, keeping you informed on what matters. Inside Nigeria, keeping you informed on what matters.
Good morning, viewer and listener. Welcome to another edition of Inside Nigeria for the day of Thursday. This is a program where we highlight and dissect prominent front page stories of some national dailies. With me in the studio this morning, you're welcome, sir.
Chief Robert Opara.
Yes, you are welcome. And of course, as usual, we shall be starting with Nigeria's most influential newspaper, The Leadership. The lead story on the front page of Leadership this morning: PDP leaders move to save party from implosion. PDP leaders move to save party from implosion. The Riders National Chairman alleges plot to hijack party, pledges to make amends as 7 national leaders reconsider quit notice. Atiku disassociates self from crisis. Board of Trustee member dumps party for the All Progressive Congress.
Yeah, I think it's a do or die affair for the PDP as a party, having lost power in 2015 to the APC. It looks like issues of leadership has actually gotten into the main fabric of PDP. I'm not too sure if the national chairman is actually sensitive to what is happening within the rank and file of the PDP, and then if the party BOT, if the leadership of this party fails to grapple with this situation, we may end up having a one-party state in Nigeria, because Secondus doesn't look like he's so much in a hurry to bring about a complete U-turn to the demise of the party.
But 2 days ago, the National Publicity Secretary of the party, Kola Ologbondiyan, told Nigerians that the party had activated a conflict resolution mechanism to make sure that they put this crisis behind them. And it's like the results are already showing, because the 6 national officers who tendered resignation 2 days ago have reconsidered their position.
Yeah, that's not the major issue. The major issue remains what brought the party to its knees so far. And there's been a whole lot of traffic for wrong reasons. Lots of people are disillusioned with the party, especially with the leadership of the party. And that means Secondus needs to take a hard look at himself in the mirror and find out what exactly he's not doing right. And he's not also doing very well with the governors of the party. He's not doing well with Wike, who is also a very staunch member of the party.
But Wike is just a governor.
Yes,
there are many governors.
Yes, of course. Wike there are many governors, but hey, there are governors that are also governors, basically. So, because naturally, he who pays the piper actually pays the tune. Wike is a staunch, financier of this party, no doubt about that, no doubt. But then again, the governor of Sokoto is also a major stakeholder in what happens in PDP going forward. So it's something that Secondus, for me, I think Secondus has actually overstayed his welcome.
So finally, do you see the party actually arresting the spirit of defection, hitting it?
Only if only if Secondus is removed almost urgently, because the party has lost a whole lot of members. They were willing to join the APC, but there's something that happened and they have actually decided to leave. So the party cannot afford to, continue to demise the way it's going.
All right, let's move to the next newspaper, the sister publication of the leadership. That is the National Economy. The lead story: airlines record 70% rise in passenger traffic as Nigerians abandon road travels. Airlines record 70% rise in passenger traffic as Nigerians abandon road travels. What does it portend for the aviation sector?
It portends a great economic rise, for the aviation industry. But there's also a serious issue that we need to look at. A lot of people are pushing towards abandoning the road, transport system in Nigeria. How prepared is the air transport, or rather the aviation industry? Are they actually prepared, ready? Are our airports safer now? Are the air transport system safer now? And also, the comfort of air passengers. How much are we doing an opinion poll? Is the transport industry doing any opinion poll to ensure that the people that are actually, clustering around the air transport system, are they comfortable? Are they seeing any good changes? Are they seeing that the safety of the passengers are paramount? Because that's the bottom line. Abandoning the road transport, no problem. But the air transportation system, we must guarantee as a nation that nothing can go awry, in that sector. Right through checks and balances of our luggages, going through the system, and also making sure that the terrorism stuff that everybody is talking about will also be paramount in the government's approach to air safety process.
All right, to shed more light on this story is leadership transport correspondent in Lagos, Yusuf Babalola. Hello, Yusuf.
Yeah, hello. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning,
Good morning.
Yusuf. How is Lagos this morning?
Yeah, we are fine. We are fine. Lagos is fine. This one is cool. Lagos is cool.
All right, good. Yusuf, you wrote this story. Can
Yes.
you provide insights as to the reason for the 70% rise in air traffic?
Yeah, we all know the state of our roads. The roads
Yes.
are in a dilapidated condition, number one. Number two, insecurity on the road. Banditry, kidnappings, and kidnapping for ransom and stuff like that. So those who can afford it are really going for air travel because, air is the safest and the fastest. But Nigerians have to cough out huge amount of money because despite the fact that the price of these airlines are going up, like now a return trip to Abuja that used to go for about 50 to 60,000 before COVID now goes for about 120,000 naira. But despite this increment, people are still people are still paying this money. And the reason is not far-fetched. They will prefer to cover 120,000 naira than saying they cough out 20 or 25 million naira to pay as ransom when they are kidnapped on the road. And the aviation industry needs urgent intervention because operators are groaning every day. What are the reasons for this groaning? Number one, dollar. They do not have access to dollar. Now, thanks to CBN that have stopped PDC, now they ask banks to sell. But how fast can they get all these things? How fast can they get this dollar? How fast can they get dollar for their aircraft that is trapped abroad? Now, Jet A1, the rate is going up. The price, Jet A1 is about 300 naira per liter now. And these are the things that is fueling increase in the price until government do something about dollar volatility in the forex market. I think we'll keep on having this, and also until the security situation in the country is fixed. we'll keep on seeing recording increase in air travel. Even when Nigerians are not comfortable paying, they have no choice. They have to cough out 100 or more than 20,000 for a return trip to Castina, for a return trip to Kaduna, Lagos to Kaduna, Kaduna to Lagos, Kaduna to Castina, because all those the roads are not safe. So those who can afford it, they would rather prefer paying 120,000 naira, 150,000 naira, even with the way things are going. If the dollar rate did not come down, if dollar did not refuse to come down, if aviation fuel is going up, then we should expect this airfare to go up. And as it goes up, I know Nigerians will also prefer flying than going by road because of the situation on the road. The situation is not what anyone can say, I want to gamble with my life, I want to gamble with my safety. And, because you have families, people that are struggling to survive, when they are kidnapped and they ask to bring 200 million, or 50 million, 50 million, 20 million, and even some of them are, the unfortunate ones are even still killed. So you prefer to just cough out 120,000 naira for a return trip to Lagos, or for a return trip to Abuja, or for a return trip to Port Harcourt than for you to be kidnapped. I think that is the reason why we are experiencing this.
All right, Yusuf, I heard you clearly. Apart from the state of the road and insecurity, which has actually forced Nigerians to opt for the air travel, you also mentioned industry challenges like the issue of access to foreign exchange and cost of spare parts and maintenance in the aviation sector. But beside these two, is this not a boom or the beginning of a boom for the aviation sector against the backdrop that aviation sector was one of the worst sectors during the COVID-19 pandemic? Is the rise in the passenger traffic not the beginning of a boom for the sector that can make it to go back to its feet?
Yes, it is a boom because the airline are smiling to the bank. They are filled to brim. They are smiling to the bank. They are filled to brim. So it's a boom. But what I just want is government should come in and intervene so that the price can go down. The other time, government gave an intervention fund to the aviation sector. How much was given? 5 billion naira. I think about between 5 or 10 billion naira was given to the aviation sector. This is nothing to the aviation sector because aviation sector is capital intensive. For you to take your aircraft for C check, you cover about $2 million for C check abroad because most of these facilities are not even in Nigeria. So also government must also create an enabling environment for maintenance, repair, and overall facilities in Nigeria. This thing, government should also invest. Government should invest in these things so that this foreign exchange that we are taking abroad, when you do these things locally, it's going to save you more money and it's going to make the economy boom. So, like you said, yes, it's like the aviation industry is booming. Yes, it is. It is, no doubt about that. Because if you record 70% increase, then that means the aviation is booming. Yes, it's coming back to its feet, but government must also come in and intervene.
All right. Finally, Yusuf, Mr. Robert Akara in the studio, we ask you the last question.
Hi, Yusuf. Good morning.
Good morning.
From the way we are going, so far, you've talked about the aviation industry. You've talked about what the kind of amount of money that the operators actually require to do what they have to do. What do you think, from your own analysis and from your own investigative process, what do you think will happen to the industry if all the foreign exchange requirements that the operators actually need did not get to them as quickly as they actually need it?
Yes, if they don't get this foreign exchange, definitely they will go to the black market. And that has always been the place they've been sourcing their dollar, their foreign exchange for quite some time now. Now the CBN only banned BDC, Bureau de Change Operators. These are registered with the CBN, which are registered with the CBN. But the black market operators are not registered with the CBN. They are still on the street. So definitely, when you need to pay a certain amount of money for your aircraft that is abroad, and they're not getting it from the bank, because it's going to take, before they open letter of credit for you and stuff like that, it's going to take a whole lot of time. And these are processes. And the aviation industry doesn't give room for delay. So what they will do is they will go to the black market to source this money. And definitely, this is pure and simple economics. It is what you sell, it is what you buy, you sell. So if you get your dollar at maybe 520 at the black market, you're able to send abroad to get your aircraft maintained, and you come back, you're going to put it back on the consumers, which are the passengers. So, and definitely the passengers will pay because they don't want to be kidnapped. So the thing is, government must, like the aviation industry stakeholders have been clamoring for years that government should open a special window for them to access forex. Government should please, as a matter of urgency, because that is the only sector now. I mean, the aviation sector, the aviation sector now is the only transport sector that is free, fair. I mean, that is free from attacks, from insecurity. Because now, if you go by rail, the other time we heard by rail, some people they were attacked. They were almost attacked. On the road, that is a no-go area. On water, now you can only connect, or even water. Not all the states are connected by water. Aside Lagos, and we have about 24 states that can be connected, that you can even go on water, but they are not connected. Now, the only fastest route to get to where you are going is by air. And no matter what, it is what they buy, they will sell. So if this foreign exchange are not made available to them through the official rate, they will go to the black market. They will buy at any amount you ask them to buy, because they know it is what they buy, they will sell. So definitely it's still coming back to the final consumers, which are the passengers. We shouldn't be surprised tomorrow. Okay, like now, I checked Dana Air, and a business class to Enugu, Lagos to Enugu, 99,000 naira. One way. So return ticket should be about 150 to 160,000 naira. This and a return ticket to Enugu before shouldn't be before COVID. I think should be about 50 or 60,000 naira. I used to go to Abuja. I used to come to Abuja from Lagos to Abuja.
Yusuf, thank you very much for your time. Yusuf Babalola is Leadership for National Economy Transport Correspondent. We need to allow you to attend to the hustling and bustling of Lagos. Thank you very much for your time, Yusuf.
Thank you.
We need to go on a short break. When we come back, we shall attend to other front page stories of today's dailies. Thank you. Welcome back. Still inside Nigeria. I'm still in the studio with Robert Okpara, an Abuja-based public affairs analyst. Robert, you listened to the discussion about air travel and the boom for the aviation sector. Anyway, we need to move away now to the next newspaper, which is the Blueprint. And the lead story today on the front page of Blueprint: abducted Chibok girl, ISWAP husband, 77 others surrender. Abducted Chibok girl, ISWAP husband, 77 others surrender. These are people who have surrendered to troops yesterday somewhere in the northeast, in the theater of the war. And what does it portend? Are we truly winning the war? Because this is not the first time we are getting reports about terrorists surrendering to our troops.
I think this is just another wash. This is another serious wash. And this war, see, until Nigerian government understands that this thing is not a conventional war, and you cannot approach this war with a conventional method. This is a war of hearts and minds. And unless you win these criminals, hearts and mind process, they're not going to give up anyway. So, for now, government is just, fooling themselves and thinking that they can use a conventional weapon to resolve this matter. They cannot. They will not. They will sit on their arms for a long, long, long time to be. So, whether it's Chibok girls, whether it's ISWAP, whether it's 1,000 husbands surrendering themselves, the fact is that the government needs to sit down again with major security stakeholders and redesign a roadmap to be able to find a solution to this non-conventional warfare.
But one of the writers here is saying more ISWAP Boko Haram members willing to give up. I think this is guided to a source, an intelligence source also. So we have more terrorists willing to give up. And you say it's just one of the wash.
If they give up today, then what?
Then the war will end.
See that we are living in a fool's paradise if we think if we think actually that will happen. The most important thing is that if they all give up, what are they going to do again? What will they do? Most of them that gave up, are they not part of the banditry gang? Are they not part of funding the banditry and all that stuff? So this thing will not go until Nigerian government finds a long-lasting solution to this problem. And this problem can only be solved if all the major stakeholders, whether they are from the north, whether from the south, whether they're from the middle belt or the southeast or whatever, everybody needs to sit down, major stakeholders sit down and say, this is our approach. If we can get this approach done, everybody should forget whether they are coming from the north or from the south, from the west. This is Nigeria, because when this thing implodes, finally, it's to your own tent, O Israel.
All right, thank you. Let's move to the next paper, The Guardian. The Guardian has on its front page this morning, government, Twitter, silent has banned clocks 2 months. Government, Twitter, that is Nigerian federal government, are silent as the ban on Twitter in Nigeria clocks 2 months. 2 months without Twitter in Nigeria, and all we are seeing is silence. What does it mean to you?
It means that those that are handling issues of that concerns this Twitter ban and the federal government, they don't understand the value that Nigeria is losing. Twitter as a group is $1 trillion enterprise, and the owners of this organization, they don't have to be in Nigeria anyway. It is Nigerians that are losing. It's our youths and men and women that are using this Twitter handle for their businesses that are losing. And when these people, totally lose their source of income, what next? They'll go into crime, and they enlarge the population of crime process in Nigeria. The 419ers will increase, and so many things will happen. So I think it's better that Lai Mohammed, who is the anchor of this whole stuff, actually climbs down from his high horse and advise the government appropriately, and also the minister for what they call him again, the minister for what's his name again?
Information?
No, not information. The one that Pantami, right?
Okay, the minister for communication.
Fine. So these are the major stakeholders. Yeah. These are the people that are advising or misadvising the government on this issue. Twitter, let me blow it up again. Twitter has absolutely nothing to lose as an organization. It is Nigeria that is losing. Nigeria will continue to lose. So they need to go back to a drawing board, invite Twitter and do what they need to do to ensure that Twitter comes back to Nigeria, because our country is losing.
Now, let's look at two critical issues. You talk about Twitter not losing, but rather it is Nigeria that is losing. Already, according to the story, losses to economy have risen to 152 billion naira as SMEs, small and medium enterprises, are migrating to other platforms. But that is not of interest to me. Now, look at experts calling for investment in local messaging app. Is this situation not supposed to bring the ingenuity in us? As they say, that necessity is the mother of all invention.
My brother, see, invention. For me, is when the likes of Twitter sat down years back and designed this, where were our Nigerians? What were we doing? Using toothpicks or something? So at the end of the day, these people, they have done what they need to do to, provide a platform. How long will it take our ingenuity stuff to come up with something our own Twitter?
Like the cool.
It's just like in those days, in the 70s, when we are crying transfer technology. Yes. And they actually transfer technology. But how many of Nigerians have been equipped, intellectually, technically, to be able to now say, okay, we have gotten this transfer technology, then what? What are we doing with it? Let's stop deceiving ourselves. We can actually do better if we realize that Americans will say we ain't got shit. So we don't have what it takes for now to
but we have young Nigerians who have actually, showing their ingenuity in the fintech sector, coming out with a lot of payment solutions.
Are they being encouraged? Are they being encouraged? Are they being provided the appropriate, technical platform by the government? Do you understand that? That's the major issue. If the government looks at it as a serious matter and that revenue can stream from there, they can actually, set up a system whereby they can encourage these Nigerians. But for now, absolutely zero.
Anyway, let's look at this picture of interest on the front page of The Guardian. There is this picture about coffins of youth corps members who died in a road crash. Their bodies were taken by a military aircraft to Uyo, the Akwa Ibom state capital, yesterday for burial. This is not a good sight for Nigeria. These are young men with dreams and aspirations, but in their prime, they've been cut short.
It also shows how we rate, how we value lives in this country. I don't know the last time you've traveled by road. I don't do local flights in Nigeria. It doesn't matter how much you give me, I will not fly.
You go by road.
I go by road. So I know exactly what happens from here to Sokoto to Kaduna and all that stuff.
We don't have time. For want of time, we have to end this program on this note. Robert Okpara is an Abuja-based public affairs analyst. Many thanks to you for coming to Leadership Podcast Studio. Thank you very much, listener and viewer out there. Keep a day with us tomorrow for the last edition of Inside Nigeria for the week. My name remains Bode Badibo. Bye-bye for now.